episode, but we were driving and figured we'd add some extra content to the pages. We are currently driving to a football game for one of the boys, and we were just...
In Wakamuka Chaco, Oklahoma, I believe is the name of the town.
No, that's not
That's
it.
not it?
No.
Why does every town in Oklahoma sound like a camp that somebody went to in the 1960s?
That's a good point.
Winnemucca. You know what I mean?
I heard another town that I've never heard of before in Oklahoma, Okmulgee.
Okmulgee?
Yeah.
I bet that's not how it's spelled.
It's up by Tulsa. Anyway, we were talking about this stuff and we thought, why don't we get on and share with y'all what we like and don't like about
for our
Oklahoma.
West Coast friends that might be looking to get the heck out of the Crazyville. Oh my gosh.
But-
Look at the elbow. That's like a 43-year-old man's elbow.
There you go.
Good golly. Actually, that's a scar right there.
We're here to talk about what... Stop it.
Then don't put my elbow in the scene, Kate.
Anyway,
I saved Lucas's life with that scar.
I think that if you're thinking about coming to Oklahoma, you better be voting conservative, because if you're not, then I don't want y'all here. Like, I'll be super blunt about it.
But you should know the pros and the cons.
You should.
Pro, if you like seeing a 75-year-old bearded man driving 60 miles an hour down the highway with his lap dog, neither one of them buckled in his side-by-side, move to Oklahoma. See, I think that's a God-given right there. Government tell me what I can and can't drive and how to do it safely.
Okay, there's one. Another plus, this state fits our morals more than a West Coast state does. We love our school. We love our small town. You have pros and cons to small town, but ultimately, altogether, there are good people here that mean well and want to see you do well in life.
Yeah, and a lot of people have very good family values, which means that they're all very much for the kids, which is a really big thing. I've never seen so many people care about kids as I have here. So, not suggesting people in Oregon don't care for kids. I'm just saying, like, when you see the amount of time and energy and effort that people pour into making sure that all the kids in our community have a good time or have access to camps and all these different things, like, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's a huge blessing.
Con, bugs.
Yeah.
Lots of bugs.
I hate summertime here. It is too hot and the humidity sucks. I do miss Oregon summers. But I've always loved fall and winter. That's just my favorite time of year. And spring is all right, but like even in Oregon, summer still didn't care for summer. But I love winter because that's when everything that came up from hell goes back to hell. So the bugs can stay there.
That is true. I am a summer person through and through. I like the heat, and I have a philosophy on that. When it's 115 degrees out, I can dump cold water on my head and I feel relief. And when it's negative 20 degrees out, I can't dump hot water on my head and feel relief. Not if you work outdoors. You just freeze. You're just cold, and you're cold all day. So I like heat because I feel like I can do things to alleviate the heat throughout the day. Whereas you're cold, you really can't. I mean, you put on another coat, but anyone that works outdoors knows you only put on so many coats, and you just get...
I don't work outside, so I love the cold. Like,
oh yeah,
perfect.
You're the ones that like to talk crap about summertime people until it gets like freezing cold, and then you're like, ooh.
But I still love that more than 15 degree day with humidity. Ugh.
But an argument is to be made for winter. No snakes, no bugs, except for everything outside is dead. And not just the bugs and the snake. Like, not just that everything's gone. It's all like 99% deciduous trees, and it's just sticks. All you stare at for 3 months is just a bunch of sticks. And
Brown.
It's really depressing coming from an area of the country where everything is green 365 days a year.
That's true. There's some weird stuff in Oklahoma that we're still not used to. Like
Dr. Pepper? Am I saying that right? What is it? Dr. Pepper? Some drink down here that everyone goes nuts for. Really weird. What?
we have Dr. Pepper in Oregon too. It's just
but
not as
like you do down here.
No, it's Dr. Pepper and sweet tea, man. Like, that is just crazy.
Sonic started here. I didn't know that until we lived here.
Yeah.
Sonic started here. That's why everybody's like, dude, like the line in the morning is like Sonic to get. And I don't even think it's coffee or breakfast. It's like everyone gets their sweet tea in the morning or something. But It's crazy, dude. People love their Sonic in Oklahoma, which I like Sonic. It's good, except for I went there on the 50-cent freaking corn dog day with Jackson and Lucas when they were little, because who's going to turn down a chance to feed your kids some corn dogs for 50 cents? And they lied. The advertisement lied. And so I've held a grudge ever since. That was 5 years ago.
I do like how fast you can drive here in Oklahoma. When we went back home this summer for family stuff, it was like driving like a snail. I'm like, oh my gosh, this 55 miles per hour on the freeway sucked. So yes, we do drive a lot faster in Oklahoma and Texas.
Constitutional carry state. You like
yeah.
that? Everywhere you go, I would say, I don't know. I would guess like 20-30% of the people that I see are probably armed. I like that.
I do too.
I mean, you can tell. You can tell by what they wear, how they walk. Sometimes you can see a little bulge. I carry everywhere I go. Katie carries everywhere she goes. So it's kind of nice to fit in. Not that you talk about it when you conceal carry, but you just kind of know. And it's kind of cool to just like, you know, it's like, oh, like we went to camp last week with Lucas. And even the guy that directs the camp, he was like, yeah, and he's like, well, and we've even taken, you know, like shooter safety or whatever, like if there was a mass shooting type of a thing or whatever, I forget the scenario they call it or whatever, but he was like, yeah, we even go through the training with that with the sheriff and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And he didn't tell the kids like all the details, but he told the kids, he's like, and I just want you guys to know you're safe. He's like, we're here for your safety, so if something happens, get out of your cabin, run to the woods, and we'll be taking care of it. And when he says we'll be taking care of it, you believe
you know what he's
going to be taking care of it. And you know every other sponsor there and everybody else, there's a gun in the car, there's a gun in the hip, there's a gun, you know what I mean? Like, it's really nice to be around moralistic people that you can trust for the most part. You know what I mean? There's bad eggs everywhere, but for the most part, it's just dominant, good people down here. So that is a really good plus. You know your kid's protected when they go out and do activities because people are armed down here.
Don't mess with the South. That's what I would say. But yeah, those are just a couple things that, you know, pros and cons of where we live. But for the most part, we love it. I'll never go back to the West Coast, or I'll never move to the East Coast. Like, sorry, I think that some of those states on the East Coast are just as crazy as the 3 West Coast states. So,
yeah.
And what else were we gonna mention? I can't remember now. It was just kind of we're
I thought
happy.
it could be a thing as things pop up that we could talk about, because it's something that we told our story about it, but it's something that we don't really talk about. Not that we're trying to like get into like too much politics or whatever, but we don't really talk about the reason for our move and the pros and cons and you know what we enjoy about being here. Like, a lot of people probably still think we're crazy for just up and moving. Like, why would you just up and move everything and start over your business and pull your kids out of school and away from friends? Like, why would you do that? Well, like I said, without getting too political, we just listed some of the reasons that we're appreciative to be here. So,
And we actually, another pro is that they actually have more friends here than they did in Oregon in the schools up there, which is so funny because we're smaller down here.
yeah,
But
they just do more for the kids.
they do, and I think that as our kids grow up, they're going to have lifelong friends that will always stand by them. And someday, I hope that our kids will be coaching their kids with these kids that they're going to school with now, because everybody seems to stay here when they grow up here. It's just generation after generation that stays, and that's really cool.
I don't like pumping my own gas though. That could change.
Seriously.
Yeah, Oregon spoils you. Maybe some people. I don't even know how many states.
Pump my own gas.
I don't know how many states still require that somebody else pumps your gas, but if people that
I think
didn't know
there's
that,
only 2.
in Oregon, you don't pump your own gas. So
There's a attendant that comes and does it for you, and it's irritating.
Another thing that is really weird is that, and I don't have a stance on this. I put, to me, cars are tools, right? And I'm sure there's men out there that are like, oh my gosh, you put ethanol in your motor. And the only thing I know is that ethanol breaks down faster. So as long as you're burning the fuel, I didn't think that it was necessarily bad for your engine or whatever. But they have like, this is like Baskin and Robbins of fuel down here, because they have their own refineries or what, I don't know. But like, you pull up to a pump and it's like, do you want these 6 different kind or these 3 different kind of fuels? You know what I mean? It's like, you don't have that in Oregon. It's like 10% ethanol across the board. What do you want your octane? And that's what you put in. And then down here, it's like, 80% of what you have to choose from is non-ethanol, and like they have stickers that kind of make it sound like they don't like ethanol from these parts, which I kind of get because corn, they ain't growing a lot of corn here for ethanol. So if you're using ethanol in your fuel, you're kind of taking jobs away from the oil producers that are right here in Oklahoma. Kind of weird to be in a state that produces their own oil and their own fuel. Got to make you feel good at night if you're a prepper out there, right? You're a survivalist guy, or just paying attention to which way the wind's blowing in this world. It's kind of nice to live in a state to know that you can produce your own fuel in, that you have men and women that work in the industry that know how to make it. Because you're going to be running dry real quick. Washington, Oregon, going to be gone. But anyway, I could go on all sorts of rants about that.
You really could.
But I don't know. I just thought we should start putting out some shorter content, get to know us a little bit, and some other different things about us. Katie doesn't want to do Q&As. I thought Q&As were kind of fun.
I hate Q&As, and Jeff just rants the whole time, and I can't come up with questions to ask him because I think it's stupid. So we're not doing that.
Can we just do a practice one in this video?
Good Lord. What's your question? What's your question?
I don't have any specifically planned out.
Let's just do a practice, and he's got no questions.
I thought I'd ask you to start. Okay,
no.
Well, fine. No, I'll start. What's your favorite fish and why? To eat, obviously.
Ooh, that's a toss-up between mahi-mahi or halibut.
So tuna or halibut? Is it mahi-mahi tuna?
Yeah. I don't know.
You just like mahi-mahi?
It's really good fish.
Okay. I don't know that I've ever had it before.
Well, that's because you won't let me cook you fish. I've been told not to cook fish when Jeff is home because the smell makes him gag. So.
You know when you had French fries that went in right after that fish fillet. Everyone does.
Okay, yeah, and it's disgusting. I'll give it to you.
Thank you. So then why is it not disgusting
because
when I tell my brain I'm going to eat fish?
Because it's not fresh. There shouldn't be a smell to fish if it's fresh.
No. I've been around some of the freshest fish in the world coming right out of the Pacific Ocean. My uncle owned a cannery.
I know.
People brought him as fresh a fish as you could get every single day. And I could smell them.
Okay. Well, we'll end it on that.
I just caught fish with Lucas the other day, and I handled one, getting them off the hook and everything for him.
He'll handle it. He won't eat it, though.
You can smell it.
Okay.
I'm just putting the argument to bed. Did you have a question for me?
No, I don't like this, so we're not doing it. I just gave you a question, so now we're done.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all later.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Bye.